look out for?
Yeah, so another thing is where they're convincing you go meet like other people. So like they want to gang you and influence you, like, peer pressure. It's easy for you to say no to one person, but when there are five people convincing you, yeah,
Mentors.
yes, this has happened to me.
Where WACHEKE want you to talk to us about some red flags. Some red flags that people can try and detect when someone in the community is coming to sell a certain thing. They may not be verified. This could be a trusted person, but what are some red flags that people should look out for? You, of course, already talked about an exaggerated above market rate return. We know, like the stock market or maybe the index funds like the S&P 500 generally return an average of, around 10-11% every year. And then here you have someone who's promising you, like 100% return, or maybe is promising you, give me 10,000, within 2 years you're going to have 50,000. So an exaggerated return. That's one of the red flags you mentioned. What are the red flags that people need to look out for, WACHEKE?
I think, Ali, before we go there, I want to add some of it to something that Annette said. The reason why, as Black people, as immigrants, we always fall for these schemes. If you look back, there's a wealth gap, a race wealth gap. If you compare Black people and other races, we are the bottom of the totem pole, and this is a legacy of slavery as well as systemic racism, which affects us even today. I mean, there are some point where banks would redline, where they would put a red line in an actual area and warn off mortgage lenders from lending money to Black people. So those are some of the things that really make us susceptible. We're still playing catch up when you compare to other races. So when someone says, hey, I have this thing that's gonna earn you, money, because you're trying to play catch up, you wanna have generational wealth because you don't have. Maybe you're the first person to own your home. Your parents, your grandparents, great grandparents never owned a home. They either lived in government housing or they've been renting. So, but now you're the first person to own a home and you want to leave a legacy. You want to have several investment properties to leave a legacy. So when someone says, I have this idea, I have this thing that's going to allow you to get extra income. So we don't think, because, we're playing catch up. We're trying to fill the holes, holes that has been there for generations. The second thing is Black tax, and especially for African immigrants. I'll speak to African immigrant because that is my reality. That's my perspective. I know you very well. Most of us are supporting our families at home, whether it's our, siblings, our parents, even extended families. We're paying for their housing, school fees, healthcare. As much as, diaspora remittances are the highest forex exchange earners to Kenya, much of that money is not going to develop Kenya and, invest Kenya. No, much of that money is for basic needs, whether it's housing, food, healthcare, education. So that is why when someone comes to you and says, and I've actually been in several of these, meetings where that is a selling point. They tell you, I know you support your parents or you support your brothers and sisters. I have this thing that would really help you. You can earn an extra $500 and you're not going to be sweating to support them. So when I hear that,
red flag.
I'm not even going to think, let alone the red flag. I'm not even going to think twice, because what you have done? You have touched my emotions, because as human beings, we make decisions based on emotions and justify them with logic. So you have touched my emotions, that emotional part of me. It's, I have to support my parents. I have to support my siblings, extended family. And there's a way I can do that. Annette has told me I can make $500 easily. I don't have to be too involved. I can still continue with my 9 to 5. So that's how we get into this. You're convinced and you go into there. Now going back to the red flags, like one of the biggest red flags that I always see is, someone comes to you and tells you, oh, join this Zoom. I have an idea, or I have a business idea, or there's a
Join
and they
Zooms.
don't tell you,
Yeah.
they don't tell you what product or service it is. They don't give you the company. To me, it's always a red flag. Or when they put it in a group and say DM me, like to me, it's always a red flag. Like if you think about all these products that are sold to us, whether it's commercials on social media or traditional media, the company stands there and says, this is what I'm selling. Company Z says, this is what I'm selling. This is the service I'm selling. This is how you can get a hold of us. This is our website. This is a brochure. Go there and you can learn more. But when someone tells me, DM me, I'm like, to me, that's always a red flag. Two, like if I have to join a Zoom and when I call you, you tell me no, that I have to speak to someone else, that's also a red flag. Like, why can't you, if you're the one that's involved in it, why can't you at least give me an idea? You might not know how to explain it to me, but you can give me an idea what it is, so I can I can prepare myself. I can research and see if it's something that would suit me.
So actually, let's pause. Let's pause on that idea of join a Zoom, because I think that's a simple thing that the average person can detect. Like someone is selling you a product, but they're not telling you exactly what it is. They're not telling you the company. They're not giving you, like brochures or maybe a website to go, like review the product. But they're telling you just join a Zoom. You don't understand. Just join the Zoom. When you join the Zoom, you will get to understand. So that in itself, you're saying that is something that people need to look out for.
Yeah. So another thing is where they're convincing you go meet like other people. So like they want to gang you and influence you, like, peer pressure. It's easy for you to say no to one person, but when there are 5 people
Mentors.
yeah, yes, this has happened to me, and I didn't even know. So I had just moved here, and I met, this Kenyan, and like where you're always excited when you meet a fellow Kenyan.
You're fresh off the boat.
Yeah. So and then I'm excited, and they invite me to their house, and then we go there, and then they tell me, hey, let's go here. Let's go. There's somewhere I want us to go, and I want you to meet some other people. I go there, and I found the leader of the chain there waiting for me.
Wow.
And they talked and talked and talked and talked. And then I was like, I always say, one of the things I always say, I don't have money right now. It's not in my budget. But let me tell you, they were ready with a credit application.
Wow.
For me to fill out. So that's another thing to look at. If someone is telling you, let's go meet people, it's like they want to force you. There's peer pressure. Like there's a gang that wants to force you to make a decision that you're not ready. If you feel pressure, that's a red flag.
Okay.
You should not feel pressure to do anything. It's financial decisions. So you need to weigh your pros and cons before you sign on the dotted line. So if you feel some sort of pressure, there's always a red flag.
Okay, pressure. And then there's a couple of comments that are coming in here. I can see, Afro-Jamaican here says, I was very skeptical of get-rich-quick schemes. I trust but verify. And if I'm not sure, I only play with the money I can afford to lose. I think that's a very good philosophy.
And here on sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Felicia.
And then also Angie Decadence says, hello, I concur with WACHEKE and Annette on normalizing financial literacy in our communities, especially with the advancement of technology. And then Afro-Jamaican father says, I show my kids my trading account and answer questions they have. Canada does not allow custodial trading account, but I'm investing for them, and I told them nothing comes easy. We also need to warn newcomers about credit cards. Now, Salishiro here says, haki na vile kuna 2 groups that has been recruiting me. They sent me Zoom links and credit application too. So here we already have someone who's already experiencing what WACHEKE is talking about. Zoom links. Ama, let's go up a Starbucks, you're going to meet some mentors, because, and they target new people. Because I remember in my first job in the US at Target, I had barely been in the country for 2 weeks. Because me, by the way, nilianza kazi right away when I came to this country. I'd barely been in the country for 2 weeks. And it's kind of like these people, it's kind of, because he targeted me, and then what they do is that anakuchocha, anakuambia, oh yeah, you sound so articulate.
Anakupaka mate.
Yeah.
You're getting lubricated.
Hey, maze saizo. I know. And saizo, you're new, you're vulnerable, you're like, Allah, kumbe yani, kumbe 844 imenifikisha hapa. 844 imenifikisha hapa, so you're like, so you're uko
this
juu.
cool kid situation is going to pay for
Yeah, so this person, and it was like a Mwindi, not ethnic profiling, but it was an Indian guy.
Okay,
yeah, it was an Indian guy. So yeah, so to me, it totally convinced me, because my first job, I think, was paying $7 an hour. And Appa, I'm like, yeah, it's like this opportunity, like there's lots of money to be made. So even me, I got entrapped in those, and they kind of know like who's new and who's kind of unfamiliar with this situation. Yeah, right now wakiniona on body language yangu wanapiga kona wanaenda ile side ingine.
They don't even cross the road.
No, they don't. They don't. But this is a very important aspect that we are talking about. And then Adhiambo says, sounds like Primamerica. These are the people, that Muindi guy,
Providian,
Primamerica. These are the people who had approached me that many years ago. Yeah. So Zoom link, twende Starbucks, ama, like, let's go meet some mentors. Red flag.
Do you remember Amway?
Amway too.
Okay, sawa.
Amway too. By the time Amway was coming my way, I was already experienced, and I knew these things have a problem. But let's go back to WACHEKE for some more.
But before that, let me read that. Welcome, Nia Generational from the YouTube. Karibuni sana. She says, very informative topic. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And always do your due diligence in researching the matter. A lot of these things function on people's hope and or desperation. And I guess that's fears. And I think that's what WACHEKE was alluding to. Like, if it tags to your emotion.
Yeah, your parents.
You can
help your
like,
parents.
Guy more than Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So... And who is new and who is seasoned? That's what she's saying. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Welcome, Nia. Back to you, WACHEKE, on the red flags. You're still talking about red flags.
On by the way, before she, there's that I was in a certain group, a Zoom, like a funeral group. But for some reason,
yeah,
it's like some guys had hacked. They ingia that WhatsApp group, and then they start posting those Bitcoin cryptocurrency joints
in a funeral group.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And we're like, how in the first place are these guys getting this? Because I don't think this thing has been some buzzword like that. But then again, it might have been some buzzword.
Yeah, that's why when you're in a group of more than 200 people, they can very easily, and out of those 200, maybe there's like 3-4 people who are gonna click that
numbers
link.
The numbers were 233 area code.
Look at that.
I'm profiling 233. Kaende. Hi, WACHEKE.
All right, WACHEKE. Red flags.
So another thing I've noticed is like there's right now there's efforts to increase financial literacy, financial awareness for different communities, especially disadvantaged communities like Black communities and immigrant communities. So a lot of these things are coming to us as financial awareness. So I always say, when you see a seminar or you're invited to an event where they're talking about helping you understand finances, always look at who is sponsoring the event. If that company sells a product, just know you're going to be told, they're trying to sell you the product. They're not really going to give you information that will allow you to make informed decision. They'll just tell you what will allow them to sell you that product. So be very aware. If you want to know the genuine ones, it should be like a .gov or .org. And a lot of them, like if you go to your public library, if you go to like local churches, they have information. They're not affiliated to any companies. Some of them are, they get grants from the government. I would say, look at those before you go to anyone that's sponsored by a particular company